Hi, my name is Corey Brown, and this is my Module 12 presentation over tort liability. Tort is described as a civil wrong for which a remedy may be obtained, usually in the form of damages. Tort claims usually involve state law and are based on the idea that individuals are liable for the consequences of their conduct. In the school context, teachers are liable for acts that may cause injury to a student while under the teacher's supervision. There are two major categories of torts typically observed within the educational-related cases, and those are intentional torts and negligence. The first case that I used as an example was one in that students were staying in a hotel overnight during a competition. A security guard was hired by that hotel to supervise the students during that evening, and the chaperones went on to sleep, relying on the security guard to keep watch. They did not check on the kids throughout the night. They woke up the next morning to find that a security guard, or that security guard, had entered a student's room and raped him. In my school, the reactive measures would be that the authorities would be called immediately. The superintendent would have been notified, and the school attorney notified by that superintendent. And the actions taken would be according to what that attorney recommended. Proactive measures would be that teachers need to be made aware of and reminded of their duty in supervision. And professional ethics would be prior to any trip. Administration needs to be made aware of all plans for that trip and should make the staff aware of their full responsibility. My second case was similar. On an overnight class trip, another one, teachers trusted that the hotel security guard would keep the students out of the swimming pool. No teachers checked on the students prior to going to bed or throughout the night. And then when the teachers emerged from their rooms in the morning, they discovered that two students went into the pool in the early morning and one who was not able to swim had drowned. Reliance on the hotel security guard and the teacher's failure to supervise contributed to that student's drowning. In my school, reactive measures would be that authorities again would be called immediately, superintendent again would be notified, and attorneys notified, and then actions would be taken according to the attorney recommendation. Proactive measures would be that teachers need to be made aware of and reminded of their duty in supervision, like the similar case before this, and professional ethics would be prior to any trip. Again, administration needs to be made aware of all plans and should make staff aware of their responsibility specifically for those plans. My third case was a woman walked through the front doors of an elementary school and into that office. She told the secretary that her nephew had left his lunch at home and that she wanted to bring it to him. She was given permission to go to the kindergarten classroom with a brown bag. In the classroom, she opened the bag, took out a gun, and shot and killed the teacher in front of the class. She did not have a nephew in the school. This was a personal dispute between the two women, and it was carried out because the school did not have a security system in place. In our school, reactive measures would be that authorities would be called immediately, superintendent notified, attorneys notified, parents notified based on the attorney recommendation, and actions would be taken according to the attorney recommendation. The proactive measures would be that schools need to have a reliable security system in place. Professional ethics, security systems should be in place along with strict guidance and crisis plans and regular staff trainings. The fourth case I selected was a school allowed the physical education teacher to use the city park across the street from the high school. It already knew that one of its teachers was seriously attacked by off-leash dogs on school grounds, and it was known that the park had a high crime rate. One day when an owner let his dogs off-leash, the dogs attacked one of the students, causing serious physical and emotional injury. Failure to adequately assess the risk of having students off school grounds and in a known dangerous area placed them in harm's way. At our school, reactive measures would be that authorities would be called immediately, superintendent notified, and attorneys notified. Parents would be notified based on the attorney recommendation, and actions would be taken according to that attorney recommendation. Proactive measures would be that schools need to never allow students to enter a dangerous area, and the professional ethics would be administration needs to be familiar with the school community area and be aware of potentially dangerous locations to keep students away from. And the last case that I selected was one in that Casey Frame was an 8th grade student and Dr. Barry Camo was a science teacher. Camo administered a spelling test to the students, but Casey Frame spoke aloud during this test, and Camo asked him to leave the classroom twice before approaching Frame's desk. Frame confronted Camo. Simultaneously, Camo took Frame by the arm to assist him out of the classroom. The combined actions of the two of them threw Frame off balance and caused him to stumble backwards down the aisle where he hit the podium. Frame was then removed from the classroom. Frame sued, arguing that Camo attacked him and that this attack was unprovoked. The court found Camo innocent. At our school, the reactive measures would be that the superintendent would be notified, attorneys would then be notified as well to make sure that we are complying with laws, and a conference would be issued with the parents. Proactive measures would be that staff needs to be trained on law and what is appropriate in regards to handling students. And professional ethics would be staff interaction with students needs to be above reproach at all times. So that is the end of my presentation. Here is my list of resources. Thank you and have a great day.